So I started racing or riding motocross at the age of 6 already. My father was really into motorbike stuff and everything, so we got a bike. Like me and my brother got a motocross bike at the age of 5 or 6, and then I was like falling in love with like two wheels actually, and especially motorbikes. And then biking was always something which was super close to racing, like motocross. So whenever I was at home, I was just I wanted to be on two wheels. So I just took the bike and we were building jumps in the woods and everything. So that was actually like the beginning of my biking career somehow. But I always wanted, motocross was like my big passion, and so it like went on. And at the age of 15, I saw a video from Danny McCaskill, who's like the Scottish, big like the trials rider who started like making videos actually. So I saw his video, and then I was just like overwhelmed by how good he was riding on a bike, and I wanted to have a bike like he had. Then I got the similar one, and since that day I was on the bike every day for like 2 or 3 hours after school, just like practicing so much. And then like biking got more and more, but I was still racing motocross, and that's also like where the connection actually was already there with like Erlins, like especially back in the days, like when racing motocross, I was always, looking up to also especially from Erlins. And then they got into biking, and it's actually fun that like this connect came together somehow, as I was a big fan of the brand in general. And so that's how like my biking evolved a bit. My preferred riding style, I think it's just like the mixture of so many different disciplines and things. Like I started riding trials bike, like very technical stuff, but then obviously got into like downhill, like more fast stuff, because I was used to it from racing motocross. And then like I began like mixing it together and like doing a bit more like free ride stuff. So it's like, I think it's like the mixture out of it, which is my own style, I would say, which also at that time, like no one really did it, like mixing together those different disciplines. So I think, I don't know what it's even called, but I think it's just like a mixture of technical, fast, and free ride stuff.
You can call it Wibmer style.
It's probably Wibmer style, exactly. I think, a lot of motivation actually comes from, I think like the feeling you get when you're doing a trick which you were kind of like scared of, or which you were dreaming of for a very long time. I think that feeling after you made something, or after you were actually able to do that trick, I think that's like one of the best you can get. And for me, like I kind of like search for that feeling all the time. So that really motivates me a lot to like keep on going, keep on pushing, just actually to get that feeling more often. And also like a lot from other sports, like I get a lot of inspiration from them, because there are like so many good athletes in other sports, and you can really like trying to look what they're doing in their sport, and then maybe also somehow trying to get that to your discipline or to your sport, and see how you can do like tricks which, for example, like parkour or free running athletes are doing, like on your bike or in my style of riding. So I definitely try to get a lot of inspiration from a lot of different sports as well. My sponsors, they definitely play a big role. In my whole career, in my whole life of being an athlete, because they are in the end the ones who make it actually possible to like live my dream, to realize my kind of crazy ideas sometimes. Because without them, a lot of things wouldn't be possible. So it's a lot like working close together, just like trying to find good setups for your bike, so you can actually like do those crazy things. Like having a good setup of a bike is as important as, you know, practicing enough, and just like gives you more possibilities, more opportunities to like bring your riding to the next level, basically. Well, yeah. So I think like the right setup, the right technical things on the bike are honestly really important, especially for my style of riding. I mean, I'm doing like a lot of different styles of riding. So for every style, like for example, if I'm doing like big jumps, I've got a different setup than I have, for example, when I'm doing like more technical stuff. So it's also a lot about trying to figure out what works best, and it's a lot like testing and just like getting a feeling for it. But I'd say like especially also suspension plays a big role, obviously, in most of the disciplines I'm riding. Because like, for example, I've got a way different suspension setup in downhill, like when I'm going downhill fast, or when I'm doing free ride, when I'm doing like more technical stuff. And I'm really trying to find the perfect setup for everything, for every single style of riding. So I'm really like critical about everything, but it's definitely like it plays a big role in my riding. I think I'm really committed. I mean, sometimes it takes me some time to like actually know if it's good, or if it's not the way I want it for that style of riding. So it takes me some time to like figure out stuff, how it's working for me, because it's like I'm not the type of person that tries something and then instantly knows if it's good or not. I'm more like I need to test it for like longer and then see if it fits like to what I need, and then like trying to adjust. But I'm like working closely together with Erlins to get the perfect like setup, perfect suspension setups I need to be able to do what I do. It depends, but I would say air, because that gives you a bit more freedom in my, like, especially to like a lot of things I'm doing. It's really cool to be able to adjust it kind of quickly, which is great with air. So you can really like set it up quickly, or like if I'm doing that trick, I might need a little bit more air. For example, if I would do another trick, so it gives me like a bit more opportunities, freedom to change like more spontaneously. No, not really, to be honest. I mean, I think I'm really easy with that. I'm trying to, use like whatever is there, because it's already, on such a high level. So I don't really have any like big secrets, except of that, like if I'm doing technical stuff, I tend to ride like really stiff, really hard, so I can really feel the bike in every single movement. But also when I'm going downhill, I really love to like be more stiff. It's just like a bit of my preference. But in general, I don't really have like a super big secret. So.
And if it's a secret, you cannot say it. Right?
Yeah, exactly. That's actually a tough question. I think there were a lot of projects which I did. They were all so different and so like unique in its own way. So it's actually choose to pick one. But like, for example, like the one in the snow was super interesting for me, because I was never riding on snow before, like properly. And then like making such a huge project on snow was a really tough challenge. And that was probably one of the coolest achievements, just to make it possible to do such kind of like cool things on snow, which like no one has ever seen before. So that was really exciting. But also like we filmed urban freeride lifts in France, in Paris and Lyon, where we just went like with my crew of people, with my filmers, photographers, and So we just went to places and we tried to film there. We had some struggles with like security, police, and everything, but that was like also a really cool journey. It was way more spontaneous, but still like a lot of things which scared me. And also when you're riding in the streets, it's not like you fall on dirt. Like if you crash, it's gonna end up pretty badly. So that stuff is also really exciting and makes it up for some good times. Yeah, I think, still Danny McCaskill is still such a big inspiration. He was the reason why I actually started to ride that way, and he still is a really big inspiration. But also I think guys like Travis Pastrana, like he's still like such a legend, and he always was for me. A guy I was really looking up to, just also like for his mindset. He had so many injuries, like so many things that went wrong for him, but he's still up there. He's still sending it, like he's still doing crazy things. So I just love his like mental way of how he approached things, and just like how he thinks. It's unbelievable. That's a tough one, but I think it really depends. Like for me, for example, it was like almost impossible to train during the week when I was racing motocross. We were just able to ride on the weekends because there was no track close to us. And then I was able to ride mountain bikes every single day because, you don't have the noise and everything. So that was really easy for me. And I was growing up in a village, like right on the mountain. So I think it's really like, it depends on where you grow up and what you have. But in the end, I think it's always important to like take whatever you have, like take that and try to make the most out of it, and just like see where it takes you. I think for me it's easier to be an athlete like me, but no, that's a tough question. I think like going fast is really, it can be super challenging because they're like so, like the athletes they're like training really hard, and it's like so close on the top. I think that's definitely a tough discipline, but also I think it's a very personal thing. Like for me, like I was growing up like, doing a lot of things, like also parkour stuff like that. So I was always kind of like connected to the freestyle thing as well, even if I was racing motocross. But just that freedom of doing basically whatever you have in your head on a bike, I think that's like, for me, that's really like special, and it's just like more natural to me than like going super fast down a hill, even if I like it a lot. But I just can't handle the pressure, I think, when racing. I'm just making too many mistakes. I better stick to freestyle. So I've been to Rampage 2 years ago, and I just wanted to have a look, and to be honest, I was like properly impressed how crazy and insane it is, especially how steep it is. Like you can't really see it in like on TV or in the videos. It's just like when you stand there, like it's crazy how freaking steep everything is. But I'm really, and to be honest, I really want to be there at some point. But only if I'm really 100% fit, only if I really like get the training I need for that, because it's like still a different style of riding to what I'm used to. So, and also it's kind of like a competition, so it's different to making videos. But to be honest, I think I might gonna try it at some point, but who knows? I just want to make sure I'm 100% fit, but it's definitely a cool event. Yeah, I'm recovering. Well, I had my foot injury on a motocross bike a year ago, and then like I recovered from that. But then unfortunately, I had like 3.5 months ago, I had another crash where I injured my shoulder and my foot again. So I'm currently in a state of recovering again, which is obviously gonna take some time. But it can be hard sometimes. Like if you have like a back-to-back injury, to like keep your head up and like keep motivated. Especially for a guy like me, I'm used to being on the bike, being active like every single day, and not resting at all. So it was actually really tough for me to be off the bike for such a long time and just to do so much physio, just waiting. But we're actually on a really good way at the moment, so I'm really looking forward to film again, which I think should happen in the next couple of months and weeks. So it's going well so far. But it can be hard with the confidence as well to get into it. But I think if you're taking it step by step, you really you can get right back into it. It's just not thinking about the past, about the injuries, more thinking of what's coming up, and just trying to look forward to the riding and enjoy it as much as possible. I think that plays a big role in getting back the confidence, but it's taking some time. Favorite sports, beside mountain biking, to train mountain biking, I think it's probably motocross. I mean, also, I spent my youth racing motocross, so that's still a big passion, and I follow kind of all the races in America, and just motorsport in general is something I really look up to, and I'm really interested in. But also motocross gives me a lot of, it's kind of a similar feeling. You've got a handlebar, you've got two wheels, you've got an engine and a heavier bike, but in the end it gives you a lot of things to learn from, which you can take into biking. And so I'm definitely taking a lot of things out of that. I would say motorsport in general. I don't really do too much other sports. I ski sometimes. I do a bit of ice hockey. I used to do that when I was young as well. But I think my main passion is really on two wheels basically, and that's where I spend the most time in. I'm keeping myself busy all the time with two wheels. So I don't really have time for anything else, to be honest. Off season for me now is just physio and rehab. To be honest, I don't really have an off season most of the time. Sometimes I'm filming in the winter and doing videos on snow, and during the summer I'm basically doing stuff anyways. So I don't really have seasons usually, but at the moment I'm just doing a lot of training, physio off the bike. Just making sure I'm gonna get back in proper shape on the bike. Next season, definitely to get fit again, to get back on my level, even better, hopefully, and just to start making videos again. We've got some really good ideas, so hopefully I can try to manage to somehow get them. But I think we're on a really good way, and to be honest, I really can't wait to be back on the bike and doing what I love, making videos.
Thank you, Fabio.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.